Paul, give us a sense of the situation in Eastern Congo.
Thank you, Esther. It's good to be back.
You're welcome.
The situation there is very, very grim. The stories that you hear, you read about, it's very much a reality when you hit the ground. It strikes you because the women are dealing with unprecedented levels of lack of hope, no food, no water, no medicine. There's so much going on in that country that I don't know what the international community can do.
You talk about, women living in a terrible situation. But were you able to meet some of these women and children in the displaced camps?
We went to about 10 IDPs within Goma or around Goma. And what's striking when you reach some of these camps, the sheer number of people. There are over 1 million displaced people in the DRC. These are all internal displaced persons living within maybe about 15 kilometers outside of Goma. So when you hit some of these camps, the one thing that strikes you is the level of poverty. There is lack of food, lack of water, lack of medicine. There is absolutely nothing there on the ground for these people really to wake up to. There is no medicine. If a kid dies, they just dig a grave and just bury the kid. You walk, you talk to people, everybody is crying of hunger. They are hungry, they need food. There was an example, or there was a lady that I met. She was really, really sick. I grabbed some medicine, I gave her some water. People said, no, she doesn't need that. She just needs a little bit of money just to buy some food. That's the level of poverty or the level of distress that these people are dealing with.
And on top of that, the much talked about rebel group in that area is the M23 rebels. Did you have an encounter with these rebels?
I mean, to be honest with you, M23 is just part of the problem. There are more than 120 militia groups, according to the UN and other NGOs in there. So the M23 is just part of the bigger problem. But for sure, right now as we speak, the M23 rebels have moved out of the centers that they occupied, or the land, the big chunk of land that they had captured over the years. So now they have gone back to some of the areas that were agreed upon during the Nairobi summit. So you have East African troops that have taken over some of those former rebel-controlled areas. So yes, the M23 are there, but they're not visible. At night, they show up. During the day, they're wearing civilian clothes, so you can't tell who is M23 and who is not M23.
So what are the forces really doing there? We have the East African Regional Force. We understand even SADC is sending some forces. What is their role, and why haven't they been able to quell this crisis?
Esther, that's the million-dollar question. I think the most important thing is to bring about a semblance of peace and stability. All these external forces or internal forces are trying to achieve one thing: bring peace, bring back people to their homes. Because when you drive around those neighborhoods, they're all deserted. There's not a single soul in those houses. So what the East African troops are doing is trying to bring people back to their communities.